Welcome to turn 4 of this playthrough between El Condoro and Nicholas Wolf of Orb and Crown. Okay, there's been a request on the YouTube channel for the borders to be shown, so I can quickly show you how to do that. When you come to the options screen here, if you click on Advanced, you'll see that borders are over here. So I'll turn on the borders, and you'll be able to see where the countries, where their borders are. Hey, that's logical. And that might make it a bit easier to follow along with what's going on. Okay. So again, I don't expect that there's going to be a lot to see in the replay, but I will play it because I'd hate to miss something that was really important and interesting. The download on my computer takes quite some time for some reason. Let's go into the replay. So these early turns, like it says in the manual, this is a slow burn. We get started as things go along. I suppose it's a bit like playing a game of soccer or football in the Northern Hemisphere. Oh, he's attacking me with his long-range air, and that's about it. I guess he's trying to lower the supply of those units over there. But as the game goes on, there'll be a lot more in the replays. First thing, let's have a look at these borders. What have we got here? Chinua has moved 11%, nice, and Big Wolf has sympathised with Angnord, so he has tried to move them, put a bit of pressure on the elves to support his war effort, which makes sense because they're in a position to help him quite a bit. Right, now my country of Andania has suffered a plague strike, and that will lower my national morale by 1,000. So it's not a huge effect, but it does have an effect. And you can see up here that is Andania here, and this has moved a bit. Right, so the national borders now, you can see where the borders happen to be, and I'll let you go through those when you open up the game yourself if you like, but this is the border of Angnord here, right across the top of the northern edge of Big Wolf Forest, right through here to Ymurin Vale, which is the lair of Draka, across the top of the Dwarf Kingdom here, which has not yet mobilized, but I'll certainly be trying to get them on side because they have lots of stout dwarf warriors to send to the war effort, and of course they provide gold pieces. Alright, so I should be able to take the Castle of Watersbend, and we will see quite a few scripted events take place once that is done. Right, let's begin the attack. Now, the way that this is done is different for each person. I like to soften them up a little bit with some infantry attacks. Other people like to hit with the equivalent of the tactical bombers, these units here, which are the, I call them air warriors. But I'm going to soften these guys up a bit, even if I take a couple of points in strength penalties. Well, that's good. I've done a bit of damage to him as well. Move back, use a different veteran unit, and drop him down a bit, because if I attack with the any more expensive units, I will suffer damage, but it's much more expensive to replace that damage. Now look at what Draka can do with his fiery breath, 2 and 6, and there's a pretty good chance, 25% chance, that he's going to avoid all retaliatory damage anyway, so I think it's worth hitting with that. And there you go, damage evaded, so it cost me nothing to knock out those 6 points, and the defenders of Watersbend Castle are now no more. And I will defend it with my elite Death Cult troops. Oh, he has got an elite group right here. That's a dangerous move, but it might work. Let's see. I'm going to try and hit him with my air attack, and you can see I've done 2 points of damage to him, and we have, even though I can't see who it actually is, that is Prince Ammond, I'm sure, in behind the elite troops here. Alright, I'll move the Vikings up, start reducing the entrenchment of the Goodrich garrison there, and we'll move up some leaders as well. Now, looking at or hovering over a Beegwolf Hex, I can see that they're on 36% mobilization, so I don't have to worry about them just yet, but I am going to continue with my sappers to build fortifications around Morbright. Okay, let's see if we can reduce the entrenchment of Xander's Keep, and eventually we'll take them out, but it just takes a few turns to do so. I think that's all I really need to do with those guys. The kobolds can move up. They're pretty useless most of the time anyway, but they are good for scouting, and a little bit later on, if they get the ability to evade, they can be very annoying for the other side. I suppose for my side too. They are kobolds. Alright, let's have a look at... Well, there's nothing much for Gwartenheim to do yet. Still, the tunnel has not been built, and that must be built fairly soon. Looking at the Vikings continuing to move across the land, continuing to move into place to eventually take out the defenders of Courland here, which was taken from the Vikings in years gone past, and they want to get it back. It's a point of pride for them. Okay, going across to Andania, and I can afford now to purchase that elite unit that I wanted, another one, and I will. These guys are the best troops on the map. They have good armor, they have good attack, and they get 2 attacks. So they are very, very useful, and put them all together and they become quite a force. Of course, they're expensive to replace, but that's par for the course and not too much of a worry. I think I will start building up my navy at some point very soon, but not right now. Going across to Potentia, again, they don't have a lot of strength at this stage. They're only at 57% of mobilization, and I'll just continue to move the Empress across the land and go down to this continuing attack, and I'll see if I can take out, I probably won't take it out this turn, but in the turns to come, to take out this garrison here. We'll just keep pounding away. Now let's see. Nick is a very good player, and he has defeated me as the adversaries. Not that makes him a good player. I mean, I can be defeated quite easily, but I know that he can launch some really surprise attacks from different places around the board, so I'm a little bit nervous about just leaving this leader here by himself. Alright, they don't have enough points to actually build anything this turn, so one thing that I haven't been doing is scrolling out and having a bit of a look around the map just to make sure that I'm catching everything, and it looks like it's pretty right. So that will be the turn. Let's see if there's any decisions to be made. Alright, so Angford's morale has been affected by the capture of the Mithril Scepter. So that happened when I took Watersbend Castle. And they have moved their throne down to Donsborough. Okay, so Ammon's throne is there. Beegwolf is concerned at the capture of the Mithril Scepter. They don't like the idea of a dragon having an artifact in its possession, so they have moved somewhere between 20 and 30 points. Maelstrom is concerned by the capture of the Mithril Scepter. These are the storm giants of Maelstrom, and they are going to activate straight away. The thought of a dragon having this artifact in its possession is anathema to them, and they will send a troop. Angford is angered by the capture of the Mithril Scepter, so King Amist has not been doing anything, but now he's angry because that's his city. And the tunnel has now been completed through the mountains. And all we need now is the goblins of Buyaron to mobilize, and we have access to Guildford, who have started production in this area here, and there is the production that we have received this turn. It's increasing, but not a huge amount. Alright, so with the capture of Waterspent, a whole heap of new things have taken place, and it's really set the cat amongst the pigeons, and we will see how that plays out in coming turns. Okay, thanks for watching.